All right, man. Touch your talk, man. Touch your talk. See, I lost my voice a little bit. All right, man. Touch your talk. All right, man. Touch your talk. How y'all doing, man? Hope everybody's good. So, Simba came out and said some things about Drake and Kendrick, and y'all gonna be surprised what he said about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And I was surprised too. So before we get into that, make sure like, share, subscribe. Let me get the legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know to find the ones that just don't harass them. I don't sell the merch. Do have content absolutely free. Want to leave a donation? Link is in the description. Cash App is right here on the screen. No more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. 1,300 subscribers, over 18,000. That's how I've reached over 18,000. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you are from. Night King in the building. Hey, listen, let me explain something to y'all because I want y'all to understand something. I work hard. I do this every day. At least 3 to 6 episodes a day. Sometimes I put out 4. Sometimes, I put out 3 on my other channel or 2 on my other channel. But I work very hard. I do everything myself. What I mean by I do everything myself, everything. I do all the editing, all the thumbnails, everything. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to let y'all know that. I love you guys. This is why I'm doing this. I ain't doing it because I want to make money or whatever. I mean, we do all want to make money, but I do this because I love you now. And I know some of my takes y'all might not appreciate or y'all might not like. Or y'all might just say, you know what? I don't want to watch this. This is the reason why I put those thumbnails out, because you can select whether you want to watch it or not. But in my opinion, I have to talk about a bunch of different things. This is what this channel is made of. I can't always talk about Kendrick. I can't always talk about Drake. I can't always talk about things around them. Sometimes I got to talk about other things. And if you're here for my take, I appreciate you. So I just wanted to give that announcement, that PSA. I'm going to continue to work hard, and I'm going to continue to do what I do. And hopefully, I can earn your subscription if you're not subscribed. That's what it's here for. That's what I'm here for. I ain't trying to just do stuff just to do it. No, I'm doing it, and I'm going to tell you the real. I'm never going to lie to y'all. Never going to lie. I'm always going to tell you how I really feel about something. And if I don't want to talk about something, I'm not going to talk about it. If I do, I will. But I just want to let y'all know, we ain't always going to agree. That's why we here, to agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? And move on. We a family. At least over here, how I feel. I feel like y'all my family. I might not say too much because I got a lot going on. So if y'all be in the comments going crazy on me, I read it, but if I don't respond, it's because I got a lot going on. And I don't want to really get in the back and forth with people over something. If I disagree, you disagree. But I just wanted to say that. You know what I'm saying? I know that was a long intro, but I had to say it because it was on my mind. I said, I gotta address it. So let me address it now. But yeah. Thank y'all for being here with me, man. I appreciate y'all. All right, man. I'm sorry. I know that was a long intro, but I had to say what I had to say. So let's get it.
The thing, right? And I said this once before, is culture versus commerce.
For sure.
I think Kendrick's problem, well, and I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for Kendrick.
Right.
I think Kendrick's problem was some people of commerce come into our culture and turn it to commerce. Right? And this is a thing that's ours. This is something we should be able to have control over.
Right.
And at any given moment should we be looking at each other asking, how did this happen for somebody we didn't agree with to be here? Not saying that was Drake or whatever it may be.
For sure.
Welcome back to Marcus at Work Media.
Nah, bro, you gotta stop being so PC, bro. You was talking about Drake, bro. Stop being so PC, bro. A lot of y'all do this because to me it comes off as just like it's just a talking point now. Nah, dog, you talking about Drake, bro. I'm not saying it. Who is he just battling? You can't say, well, I'm not actually talking about. No, you are, bro. You're talking about Drake. Like, just say that. Just say, no, I'm talking about Drake. Kendrick Lamar had a huge issue with Drake. You ain't really the one. You just pointing out what it was. It's like, well, he has a problem. Like, Drake did walk into the culture. Drake is the he is in the presidential suite in the culture. You know what I'm saying? He's written the presidential suite. He's written the 5-star room in the culture. But he's still a guest. He might be living in that he might be sitting in that suite with the Olympic sized pool and the California king bed. But he still is a guest. And you know that. So let's keep it going.
So we got Simba and Bootleg Kev kind of chiming in with the whole Kendrick and SZA takeover that has been happening for the last year or so. And is there really a divide with hip hop in music with the whole Kendrick and Drake situation?
The last year has been, I mean, Jesus, just Kendrick and SZA.
Yeah.
Kendrick and SZA.
But those are people that understand it at a high level.
No, for sure. And but it's like almost like this weird space where it's like, okay, then Drake drops Nokia, and everyone loves the song, but it's not like
Great song.
It's a great song, but I feel like in LA at least, or any of my rap buddies, they don't want to like it too much because it's so good.
Well, I think the beef between Drake.
I was arguing with my friend about this earlier. Nokia is not so good, in my opinion. It's not a great song. I think that a lot of people want it to be a great song, in my opinion, because, they want it to be a great song, in my opinion, because Drake hasn't had a hit in a long time. See, I think that a lot of people have this ideology about Drake is he's the hit maker. So when you have it in your head already that he's a hit maker and he doesn't make hits, anything that's remotely close to being a hit or is okay or all right, they're going to push it up. Because in their head, he's supposed, this song, Nokia, in people's head, that song is supposed to be a hit. No matter what, it's supposed to be a hit. And for some people, it's not. It's not a hit. But as you can see, it's a hit. Don't get me wrong. But people want it to be number one. And it hasn't reached number one. And they're like, oh, this is a good song. I can't believe it. Because in their head, Drake he makes all these good songs. Like, what happened to Give Me a Hug? Gone. All of them, rest of them songs is gone. They're all gone. Nokia is the only one that's stuck. And that's a song that's him by himself. What happened to Playboy Cardi? Oh, not Playboy Cardi. What happened to Party Next Door? Why isn't he? Nothing. I see Drake got another artist about to drop an album. I seen it. And he got a song, so I want to hear what that song sounds like. I think that's dropping on Friday.
And Kendrick kind of caused a divide between a lot of things. Like, even in the songwriter community. There's certain, like, songwriters that fuck with one artist
That makes sense.
that won't work with the other one because they know that person. Like, it's a heavy thing.
There is a real still divide.
So I will say it does feel like quite a divide that has happened specifically in hip hop. It's kind of like Democrats and Republicans. We don't get along. We do not share the same views. We are in the same space far as hip hop and liking and loving the music and art form, debatably. However, how we view that with the artists we can identify with says a lot about how we view the art form. It seems to me that the Drake stans view hip hop in a very surface way, very pop way, very commercial way, where although Kendrick is commercial and he is a universal artist, Kendrick fans oftentimes view hip-hop in a more organic way, because that's how K-Dot delivers.
Like,
I could understand what he's saying. I guess I could give him a little bit of pushback on the Republican and Democrat thing. I think that black culture influences Republicans and Democrats. And I think a lot of people don't want to admit that. There are a lot of black people who are Republicans. Jay-Z and Nas got a song called Black Republican, even though I know they're not Republicans, but still they got a song called Black. I know why it's called Black Republican. I'm not stupid. But I think there are a lot of black people who are Republicans who like Kendrick. I think there are a lot of black people who are Democrats that like Drake. And I'm not saying that was a bad analogy, because overall I get what he's saying. Overall, usually the black culture, we stick with the left side of politics, and the right side usually is what we would consider country or whatever song or whatever genre that would support that. You know what I'm saying? But I think that nowadays it's so entrenched in a bunch of different things, because you got people who voted for Trump that's black. You know what I'm saying? And you got white people who voted for Kamala Harris that don't even that loves hip hop. I think it's just different. But that's the story for another day. I really don't want to get into politics. I just wanted to just say that. But I understand exactly what he's saying about that.
there was a situation recently that I won't say the names of, but let's say person A who had a beef with Drake.
I think I know what you're talking about.
They had a VIP room reserved at a strip club.
And couldn't get in there.
No, they reserved it. They're there all the time. By the way, person A that I'm talking about is a fucking superstar level human in the music industry. Person B, maybe not a superstar level person, but very close to a main guy in the big beef, comes in and says, hey, we want to take the VIP room. The strip club says, it's already for so-and-so.
That's why I said they couldn't get in there.
Right. And so, yeah, it's like this weird thing where it's like, okay.
Now, I don't know who this person is, big up close to the battle, that got blocked at the strip club because the other person jumped in and used their ties to take over the room. Now, that does not feel...
I don't know who he's talking about. I have no clue. Let me know in the comments if you know who he's talking about. I don't know if it's Drake who did that. I have no clue about that. I never even heard that story. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, too, I'm real skeptical about everything. And I just don't fall into stories no more. I listen to a bunch of different, and I don't. If this guy is saying that happened, because I seen a video with a bunch of girls was saying that they didn't let this has nothing to do with that. These women were saying that they wasn't let into the club because they were overweight or something like that. And come to find out that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? So, and then people was riding with them. Yeah, no, that's messed up. That's messed up, because that's what they said. And we got to believe it. Believe it when I tell you. People put out narratives all the time. They put out narratives to try to sway people to be on their side. It happens all the time. So you have to be real careful about who you siding with, because if you're just siding with something and then you come to find out that you were wrong, gotta be real careful. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know who he was talking about.
Like and look like a Kendrick move. That feels very much like a Drake move. So I would conclude that this person in Kendrick camp went to this strip club and Drake did a bitch move like that. This is no surprise. He did something similar when he blocked Sir from performing in Toronto. So this is his game plan. This is his blueprint. We're not surprised by that.
And I happened to go that night, and I didn't know how, because I've been pretty critical of Drake on Twitter.
Yeah, you didn't know how powerful he was.
No. I didn't know how, I ran into his people. And I wasn't sure until I saw them and they were cool. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I know I've been dogging out Drake on Twitter. What's good, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just being, bluntly honest about the whole thing.
Yeah, nah, real talk, man. I think the
It has changed music, though. I think
did.
it's almost like, I think Drake catching Nokia is great, and as long as he just keeps on putting hit records, it'll. I just don't think it'll ever be the same.
He's Drake, dog.
He's Drake, but it'll never be the same for a certain aspect and portion of hip hop fans.
Now, as far as Bootleg Kev saying he writ to the club,
the notion that he's still Drake, to me, is such a lazy way to look at stuff, in my opinion. Because everybody looks at it like he's still Drake, though. You have to understand. It kind of makes it seem like they're diminishing or demeaning or belittling the victory that Kendrick Lamar had over Drake. It's like, well, he beat him, but he's still Drake, though. You have to understand. He's the guy that do things that's unbelievable. It's like, no. Again, it goes back to what I said. Drake hasn't had a number one hit for almost 2 years now, and y'all still saying the same thing. He's Drake. He hasn't had a number one hit for 2 years. 2 years. And he put out 2 albums. Some would say 3. So it's like, what that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like what are we talking about?
that same night, it ran into Drake's people, which means Drake people was there and they blocked it from the other people getting in. So Drake actually did cause this whole situation. But nevertheless, Bootleg Kev went that day, ran into his people, and he thought it was going to be a problem. Drake and Drake's people really ain't about that life. We know that. They pretend to be, and he got a little quote-unquote goons, top 5, Baka Not Nice, these guys that are supposedly from the block, but they ain't really doing nothing. So although Bootleg Kev thought it was going to be a problem, they were cool because he was critical of Drake. And we know Drake don't like people that's critical of him, his stance in the culture, what he's doing. To alienate the culture, he's not really a fan of those that speak out about it.
That's a fact. I ain't gonna sit here and lie about that. Drake does speak out against people who speak out. Well, he doesn't speak out. Drake is one of those type of people. He looks at it like Kendrick Lamar is a virus and he's infecting everybody around him against him. And he has to eliminate everybody around, anybody that gets along or negotiates or whatever or go. He has to weed them out because he don't know who his enemies are. He don't know who his friends are. This is the reason why everybody was saying he did this whole 20v1 thing. Like, again, you have to ask yourself, why did everybody do this to Drake? Why? What is the reason for everybody? Like, and I've been saying this. What is the reason for everybody stepping against Drake? Why?
But they didn't do nothing. Nothing really popped off. And Bootleg Kev said it the best. He was like, listen, I'm just bluntly truthful about what's going on. And that's really what people are saying. They're just bluntly honest about what's going on. And people from the culture is sick of people like Drake.
Here's the thing, right? And I said this once before. It's culture versus commerce.
For sure.
I think Kendrick's problem, well, and I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for Kendrick.
Right.
I think Kendrick's problem was some people of commerce come into our culture and turn it to commerce. right? And this is a thing that's ours. This
Right.
is something we should be able to have control over.
Right.
And at no any given moment should we be looking at each other asking, how did this happen for somebody we didn't agree with to be here? Not saying that was Drake or whatever it may be.
For sure.
Now, I love the concept of culture versus commerce. That sums up Drake and Kendrick thing very well.
I agree with that. This is culture versus commerce. But again, y'all let Drake stay in that excuse me, damn. Y'all let Drake stay in that five-star presidential suite. When y'all keep saying stuff like you said, he's Drake though. It's like, really? So which one is it? Are you sticking with the culture or are you sticking with the commerce? And I understand that most of y'all gonna stick with the commerce. Let's be honest. Some of y'all stick with the culture, but a good portion of y'all gonna stick with them commerce. Trust and believe.
Being commerce, Kendrick being culture. Culture wants control back of our art form. It's been overran, saturated, watered down by all of this nonsense that they've been putting out. All these executives in the labels that had control of it, and they're not even doing artist development anymore. They're not trying to build the artistry or nothing. They're just trying to put out a formula of what has worked in the past, replicate that to capitalize on it. And over time, that's what's led to this buildup in frustration. And Drake has become the poster boy for that formula.
Right? I think when culture becomes commerce, the person of culture at that time stood on it. And he said, man, this is our thing. This is what we're standing on.
And also pointed out a lot of like obvious things that people just overlooked the whole time because they were like, the commerce part will make people overlook a lot of shit.
A lot of things. And I think Dot took it back to culture and just back to, hey man, we just rapping. It's the essence of the bars, the sports. It's not about the hits.
So this brings into question a major divide between those that are for the lyrics and those that are for the commercial appeal of the music more so than the lyrics. Now, the whole concept of No Kid being a great song, I've heard this time and time again. After listening to the song a few times while editing, it ain't my thing. It's just not my jam. I don't really listen to music. I don't listen to music for the fun vibes. I'm either in grind mode, reflection mode, or chill mode. I'm never in Drake mode, really. Not unless Drake is pretending to be from the culture and giving me some grind music. So personally, I don't think the song is all that great, but I've heard by many people that the song is good. So he's saying, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's a hit. If it wasn't for the beef, it probably would have been received well. However, the beef happened and people are choosing sides, clearly.
It's not about none of this. It's a friendly, like you said, it's a friendly fade. Let's keep it that way.
He did say that.
Right? It's a
And
friendly
then-
fade. Let's keep it that way. And then it went somewhere else.
And that's 100% facts. He did say that. And what Drake do? Drake took it somewhere else, and he didn't have to. But he definitely did say it's a friendly fade. You should keep it that way.
And when it goes somewhere else, now you're allowing something to happen to go further. And the thing about West Coast niggas is we professional crash out artists. So the minute that you invite the crash out,
It's gonna happen.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah. And then the Super Bowl happens.
Come on now. The greatest Super Bowl performance of all time, if you ask
I
me.
agree. And I
If
know
you
that
ask me.
it's a polarizing performance, but I think it was very much like it was art.
Yeah.
Which is what
Deeper than art, it was the story of the black experience in America.
encompassated in a 15-minute.
And when it went somewhere else, you're inviting the crash out. And West Coast niggas definitely love to crash out. If you want to go there, we can go there. That's real talk. We know when it got personal, all bets are off the table, and it is what it is. As far as the Super Bowl, people miss that. And you know what? When I look at the feedback and the stories and the TikToks and the posts about people's perspective and views on the Super Bowl performance, those from the culture got it. Those that are not in the culture and those that are spectators of the music, not rooted in the culture, have the super critical commentary. You see how that works? People not in the culture don't get it because Drake made them comfortable in this space to the point that they think they know from the music. In the watered down, whitewashed version of the music that Drake and other people have been putting out. So now they think they understand the Black experience, but they don't. Because the Black experience, according to these other similar artists to Drake, have been whitewashing it to make it palatable for them. All in all, I thought this was...
That's a pretty good take at the end. A very good take at the end by Marcus. Very good take. Yeah. I definitely think that Kendrick at this point is his position has solidified, and I think that he is in a better position, in a bigger position than Drake right now. You know what I'm saying? I know Drake got 10 certified diamond records or whatever. I get it, but all of that is old. You don't have no new ones up there, not at all. It's all old stuff. So, but it is what it is, man. Thank y'all for joining me, man. I'm up real late trying to get this stuff done, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I appreciate y'all really being here with me every day, sticking with the king. I won't never forget this. And if I ever become super successful, I got a big surprise for y'all. So, all right, man. See y'all. Peace. Bye.